Women are at it again. Now tell me, is this race baiting, reverse racism, black privilege racism? Because why did Washington Commander safety Jeremy Reeves get to the playoffs last week and propose on the field to his white girlfriend, Michaela Worley, and black women went bananas, per usual? Why, every time a black man reaches some level of success, and chooses outside of his race for someone to be his wife, because they get to pick because they're whole grown-ups and they can make their own choices, why do black women get so mad? But aren't black women the very ones who get all over the internet talking mad shit about black men, how they're not worth it, they're not going to be submissive to them, they just call black men for filth?
Have you noticed something? When a black woman marries outside her race or just date any man outside her race, there's never any outrage from black men. We don't care. Good for you. We're not going to belittle you. We're going to congratulate you. Live your life. Good job. But when a black man marries outside his race, now, he's a misogynist. He toxic masculinity. He's just going to control her. He's going to go. He picked this dumb woman who doesn't know anything so he can control her. This is the nasty stuff that comes out of black women's mouth every time a black man marries outside his race. Every single time.
What's up, y'all? Hope everyone's doing well today. Welcome back to my channel, My Life Perspective, where things in our society could get a little more tense than where we like them to be. Honestly, it's 2025, right? But who knows? People still have their own issues and they're still caught up in their own ways of thinking, right? But honestly, when I look at this video, I look at the context of what this woman, what this man was saying. I really I really appreciate some of the women out there, a few of the women in our community that do speak up on behalf of black men who marry and date interracially, mainly based on some of the things that she talked about. The fact that a lot of these women in our community trash black men, talk down on black men, and have nothing really good to say or do towards black men. I mean, I've seen black men on child support mistreated, disrespected, their children turned against their fathers, and it's like, growing up, you rarely see examples of good black male and female relationships and marriages, right? And that's not saying that there aren't good relationships, right? There are here and there. But in my household, even when I was growing up, I had parents that would, verbally abuse each other, disrespect each other, talk down to each other in front of their kids, in front of, family members, friends, so on and so forth. And a lot of times I saw, the woman, the mother, playing victim. A lot of times in our community, we cape for, the women to be the victim, to be someone that deserves to be, patted on the back and glorified because you're the woman, you're the mom, you're the mama and the father, so on and so forth. And when I see examples, black men who marry and date interracially, honestly, I sit back and I really observe the situation from a perspective and just, hope and pray that they're happy, because a lot of black men are not appreciated in the black community the way we should be. Black men are appreciated in our society. A lot of times we have to find our tribe elsewhere or go find our tribes where it makes sense, right? And that's going to be coming up in the next video that I'm going to make. It's called Finding Your Tribe. But back to this same topic. when I see black men who marry and date interracially, it helps me to understand that these guys know their value. They know their worth, they know who they are, they know what they're about. And from someone who's come from the perspective of a black man who felt like you were mistreated in your community, people didn't respect you, people never really tried to relate to you, people looked down upon you, or they didn't really try to understand you as much. I'm not saying it's all black people, but it's to those who it resonates with and who it goes to, right? A lot of times you get guys who just don't resonate with the community that they're around. You don't agree with the same politics. You don't agree with the same broken cultural beliefs that we are raising our children to believe and to develop in today's society. And you don't gain or have the same life perspective of those who are in your community. So when you get the chance to step out, or you decide you want to grow and prosper in your own mind and in your own life, and you want a different lens in your life, you want a different perspective on life, you decide to go elsewhere. Like, one of the things that I like seeing is seeing a black man who's happy no matter who he's with. But seeing him happy and seeing a black man who's generally, happy because his wife, his woman makes him happy, no matter what color she is. But I honestly like seeing black men married out, but I like seeing them married out but happy. With the people that are going to bring them joy, bring them peace, bring them that respect and that love and that support. A lot of young guys are not growing up with that emotional support. A lot of young guys are being told negative things about themselves from their mothers, aunts. A lot of the women in their families don't respect them, so they have already been giving the bad hand, the bad shake of things when it comes to how black men are viewed and how black men are treated, right? So just based on what that woman was saying, for the women that went crazy, that said all these nasty things, these nasty comments, you know, just like I said in previous videos, it shows the lack of maturity. It shows that some people just still have some growing up to do, right? I made another video about it, saying that I was happy about black men who have black wives, and it was pertaining to these two individuals that this woman was talking about, right? But overall, just adding on to what the guy was saying, the double standard of it, when black women marry out and they find themselves a nice white man or whoever they decide to be with, and it's celebrated in our community, which shows that you don't value the men, you value the women more than you value the men. But then you want to get mad, angry, and upset when these men are deciding to go take the ball and bounce elsewhere. Like, who wants to be around negativity? Who wants to be around people that don't value them, that are going to constantly tear them down and disrespect them? Not me, right? But on the flip side of that, to the women that do respect this guy, that are leaving nice comments, shout out to y'all. I appreciate, the black women that have common sense, that are not tearing down black men for dating and marrying out, because at the end of the day, just like they say, love is love. Love should know no color, right? And from an overall perspective, you have to love who's going to love and respect and appreciate you. I don't see that a lot in our community, right? I didn't see that a lot growing up as a kid. Right? I saw a lot of the adverse of that, right? And if you're a black woman and you're married to a white man, go out there, be happy, live your life, do what you are going to do with him, and be successful in that marriage. This is not something to say hope that you want to hope bad for others, but it's like when I see a lot of the women who do marry out, they're like a lot of the men who also marry out. They tend to be a lot more common sense thinking. They're not like a lot of the dysfunctional people of their community, and they tend to have a lot more going on than some of the most people in their own communities, right? So I watched a video, another clip where a female was talking about her, how she went out and married or tried to date no white man and didn't work out for her, right? And then she was like, so she was pretty much championing, back on the champion train of being with black men. And I'm like, okay, that's you, that's your own life perspective. I'm not here to judge, right? that perspective of you. But I'm saying you gotta find love where it suits you. And overall, from her perspective, looking at what she went through, I'm not saying I felt bad for her. I'm just saying at the end of the day, like, the grass sometimes is greener, sometimes it's not. Right? But at least open up your options. Don't think you have to limit yourself to just your own community. Don't think you have to limit yourself to just white or just, wherever else is out there. That's something that, I'm doing within my own self. I'm not limiting myself, but I'm living my life based on what's making me happy. You got to put yourself around the people and the tribe that's going to bring you joy and happiness and peace, and go live your life in abundance the way God intended us to. You're going to have people coming out here talking about the Bible and how the Bible says we shouldn't do this and this and this in terms of interracial relationships, but yet people are still doing it. People are still getting married. People are still living their lives abundantly and more prosperously in relationships, no matter what the race or color. And people who have a problem with that need to grow up, right? It's 2025. Everything that is set in stone in the Bible or whatever else you found it, leave it where it's at, right? In this day and age, just like, one of the clips I saw on Instagram, you got to find loyalty where loyalty is suited and where it's best for you. People are going to judge. People are going to throw shots, take shots, say things. And honestly, I say to those people, grow up, right? Be an adult. Stop being a child and be mature, right? That relationship ain't got nothing to do with you. Leave it be, right? But for the most part, for black men who marry out, like, I hope and pray that you're happy. I pray that good things happen for your marriages, for your relationships, because you truly deserve it, right? There's a lot of good, solid, hardworking brothers out there that are not valued in the black community, are constantly disrespected, constantly torn down by black women, by black people. And then when you leave the community, you're called a coon, you're called a sellout, race traitor, bunny hopper, all these negative stereotypes, and people have a problem with that. They have a problem with that because you're not, especially when you become successful, because your money is not going back into the community as their way of thinking, right? And honestly, when I look at everything from an overall lens of perspective, you can talk black consciousness, the black community coming together, kumbaya, all this, pro black nonsense. But it really bothers me when I hear black people talk about racism in America, right? They talk about all these different things that can go wrong with these interracial relationships. But yet, somehow, a lot of these women cannot sit down and understand why they hate their own men, why they can't stand being around their own men, why they bring some of their men the worst trauma, the worst pain, the worst suffering. And then when other men see these examples, they're like, nah, we want to go try something else, something different. You want to get mad at them. Like, people don't have time for drama. If you want to be a low life, miserable loser because you hate yourself, you hate what you see in the mirror, that's your problem. All right? For black men that are married interracially, go be yourself, live your life. The woman you marry, I pray y'all are happy. No matter if she's a white woman, a Latina woman, an Asian woman, Indian, whatever you decide to marry, I pray and speak good things over black men who are married interracially because they deserve it. If you're married to a black woman and she brings you joy and happiness, and other black women are upset about that, screw them. Screw them royally. Go live your life. All right, at the end of the day, they need to work on themselves. They need to get themselves right. There's something wrong with their mentality, their mind, and their screws missing, and they need to get their lives right. At the end of the day, that's all I have to say to this video. If you like my content, please feel free to like, share, and subscribe. And remember, to be informed is not to be woke. Stay conscious, my friends.